Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Encounter or adventure. Anything coming from the wild can be considered outright crazy. From unpredictable fights to dramatic strikes. Frightening incidents to life-threatening experiences. Hold on to see the list of some shocking moments that, if not captured, would be hard to believe. Shark attack. A slight hit, and that's all it took to drop the man deep in the water. Let me slow it down for you guys. The surfer was filming his adventurous ride when a massive shark accidentally smashed into the boat. The dude's life flashed before his eyes after he fell into the depths. Thankfully, it was not a predatory strike and was just an accident. Why do I know it? Because the guy returned back safely. Bull shark ambushes. I still don't know how the guy managed to remain so calm. I mean, if this was me, these moments would have been my last moments. He saw the massive bull shark heading its way and knew there was only one way to survive. The guy defended himself with the spear in his hands. It sure was a harsh decision, but he managed to get rid of the massive jaws and return safely. Close call with gator. All's well if it ends well? I think this guy may have a slightly different opinion. While trying to feed chicken to the gator, the man went a little too close. He was just a few inches away when the massive alligator revealed which meal it had in its mind. It came for the guy who literally had to crawl to save himself. Another guy also jumped in and eventually rescued the poor man. Tuna on beach. The children got the fright of their lives after an aggressive tuna came splashing into the water. It happened on the coast of Malta, where a massive tuna created chaos. What annoyed the animal was not known. But tunas are frustrated predators. They sometimes invade territories and occupy them with their exasperated behaviors. This one too probably came with the same intention, when it forced the bathers to move away from its path. Just like that, they all cleared the way and moved to safety. Elephant attacks tourists. Okay, so these guys anticipated the elephant's interactions, but were asked to remain seated. Well, guess what? Sometimes you really have to go with your gut feeling. Sadly, it was too late for these tourists, as the massive tuskers had already done enough damage. And before they could hurt any man, the authorities lured them away from the visitors' area. Lion pays surprise visit. These lions wanted to give the tourists a visit to remember, and they pretty much succeeded in this.
Relax.
A group of lions were seen stepping inside a tourist van. How the people managed to remain so calm is still surprising for me. But they were all escorted safely from the van before the lions could do any irreversible damage. Leopard inside safari car. These tourists were given a surprise visit from a leopard. Not just one, but there were 3 of them that raided the tourist van. Well, they did not really attack anyone, but the tourist itself was enough to scare the people. The leopards stayed among the tourists for a couple of minutes before they finally decided to leave them alone. Young diver escapes shark. The 8-year-old faced the horror of his life while returning to the boat with a small fish. The shark probably had eyes on his catch when it smashed right on the boy's face. Thankfully, it was just a minor strike, and before the boy could even know it, the shark went back into the sea. Well, here he is again, doing just fine and holding an even bigger catch this time. Seal surprises woman. This woman was expecting a healthy interaction when it approached the resting sea lion, but the seal clearly was not looking forward to the meetup. Watch how it turns its head as soon as she tries to pet it. Well, they are called sea lions for a reason, aren't they? Snapping turtle bites. I don't know what the guy was expecting when it got too close to the snapping turtle, because, be it anything, if it is placed before those snipers, the result would be similar. It is because they are different from the ordinary turtles, and so is their hunting techniques. Although these snappers are ambush predators, once they have zeroed a meal, they will continue to strike until it's done.
Oh!
In this case, the guy got lucky enough to escape the turtle's strike and saved himself. Hippo chase boat. This is exactly what happens when a hippo strikes your boat from beneath the surface. And if you still doubt about how it may look over on the surface, I've got something for you. Here, watch how the hippo is chasing the boat through the fresh waters. Well, they are forced to do this due to their territorial nature, as they are highly territorial. In other words, they can just never appreciate an invader. Tiger ambushes. Hiding among the bushes, the tiger was waiting for a perfect opportunity. It was when he got one he decided to waste it. The tiger literally came outside, looked at its potential prey, and utter disappointment. That's what it might have felt before it decided to turn away. Anyways, it turned out to be the tourist's lucky day, and they were saved from the attack. Hammerhead breaches close. This diver had no clue that he was swimming with a potential predator. Okay, he might have a hint, but the brave swimmer did not even bother the hammerhead breaching close to him. It was probably because hammerheads are not considered a danger, while in reality they are, and there have been several reported attacks on people by hammerheads. Well, this one was clearly not interested in him and quickly returned back into deep water. Shark versus jet skier. This dude's ski day turned into a terrifying experience when a shark paid him a visit. It happened off the coast of Australia, where the shark probably got frustrated by the motion of the jet skier. The annoyed animal smashed into the skier, took a few bites, and left. Although the board was severely damaged, the skier was lucky enough to return back without any bruises. Crocodile strikes caretaker. In this horrifying experience, a zookeeper who was in the middle of a performance was attacked by a massive croc. The guy was riding the croc's back when it changed the show's patterns. The 4.8-meter croc turned its head towards the man and tossed him to the front. Luckily, that was all, and the poor man was escaped from the enclosure right after the incident. Killer whale strike boat. The video shows the terrific moment of the yacht under attack by orcas. A British couple was sailing off the coast of Morocco when a pod of killer whales crowded them. There were 6 of them that continuously banged their heads against the boat. The pod probably considered the yacht an invader or a possible opponent when it smashed it. Although this couple returned safely, there had been recent incidents where orcas nearly drowned 2 boats by simply smashing them. Uninvited croc. Okay, so the croc was minding its own business when the cameraman triggered it. He got too close to the gator, and I think he spooked it. And watch what it did. Lucky for him, it was a juvenile croc who apparently was not in a mood for hunting. Seal pulls girl. This is why it is said to maintain a safe distance with the wild. I mean, it only takes a few seconds before they change their minds and shift the tedious interactions to a battle for life. This is what happened to a poor girl who was dragged in the water by a seal.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Thankfully, before things got out of control, a man jumped into the water and saved the poor girl. Alligator Sniff Man. So, the guy clearly misunderstood the capabilities of the alligator to attack him. I mean, he saw it heading towards him and still did not act. Well, at least he learned his lesson when the alligator showed that it is, after all, a predator. It tried to bite him several times before the guy steps back into the boat. Sea otter steals. The sea otter was resilient to let go of the surfer's board. She was not even scared of the guy, and the two continued to fight for the board. Well, it was not the first time, as this had become a routine for this female sea otter who haunts the outsiders. There have been several reported incidents when she was seen taking over the surfboards. Although there had not been any injuries in these interactions, people were asked by the authorities to maintain a safe distance. Angry rhino. This dude confronted a rhino in the Kruger National Park, and it surprisingly did not strike. Well, that's what the guy thought too, until he felt the severe jolt from the side. It was the same rhino who hit the car. Although it did not hurt the driver, it sure was a frightening experience. So, basically, a rhino will never waste an opportunity to strike a human. Born with poor eyesight, the only power they have is their sense of smell. It will smell a human from a distance and will come straight to attack. Moose charges. The guy was so captivated by the moose running in the fields that it overlooked them coming toward. There it was, his moment of truth, as the moose were only a few feet away. It was then the guy climbed the tree to protect himself and saved himself from misery. Elk fights photographer. This elk and the photographer were seen in the middle of an intense battle. I don't know what started, but I do know it won't be ending anytime soon. Elks, although are not known to threaten the public, they can be sometimes seen to strike people, and sometimes even vehicles, due to unknown reasons. Fortunately, there have never been any casualties during these aggressive interactions, and this dude here also returned back safely. Lion mauls journalist. I know, it might be a little distressing to watch, but let me assure you everyone was safe in the end. A journalist was interviewing the zookeeper inside a lion's enclosure. He was in the middle of the interview when things got a bit out of control for the two. The lion clearly did not appreciate the journalist's presence in the enclosure and charged on the guy. Thankfully, things got under control before the lion could do any fatal damage and the dude was brought to safety. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. The image shows a child swimming in the fresh waters along with his dad. While the image looks quite convincing, the only twist here is the giant anaconda in the background. It's clear from the image that the anaconda has zeroed down on the child and is heading towards it. Because the image looked far-fetched to me, I looked it up on the internet, and it turned out there had been several incidents reported where these ferocious slithers constricted minors. Surprisingly, there had been a slight rise in these cases in the recent past years. So, even if this image is not real, we do know there have been several other real incidents where anacondas attacked people. See you next time!